Welcome to the Geek Attic. Guys, the stream has started. It's going to talk about the High Republic video that was dropped today by Star Wars and Del Rey and Disney. Came out earlier this afternoon. Just going to wait for some of you guys to show up here in the comments as well. But yeah, they announced the release of Star Wars The High Republic. Luckily, I was able to get a couple of these books, read some of them, and review them. Now, not all that I received I have read yet, but 2 of the 3 I did. And of course, if you're subscribed here, then you know that I've already read and reviewed Star Wars Light of the Jedi by Charles Soule. Really enjoyed that book. Then we also have Star Wars A Test of Courage by Justina Ireland. I read and reviewed this one. The one that I have not gotten to yet, which I'm not going to until later on in this month. It's the Star Wars Into the Dark by Claudia Gray. Now, those are the 3 that I currently have for the High Republic era. Now, there's another like kids book, something with not Chewbacca, but a Wookiee. Buryaga is the Wookiee Jedi's name. He's going to be starring in his own little kids book, which is cool. But there's just a lot of talk going on with the High Republic right now. People love it. People hate it. Comments on my reviews are either, positive or super negative, saying, oh, who wants to read this trash? Well, from what I've read so far with The Light of the Jedi, they've got something good here. But when I read the junior novel, A Test of Courage, it was a little iffy for me. But that's, what do you expect when you read a little kid's book, a junior reader's book? We've got ABC in the comments there, or I'm assuming hey, little typos there. But the thing that they announced on this video was some of the future of things that we can look forward to. They also said that they put the fan favorites in charge of writing all these stories, the fan favorite authors, the all-stars of Star Wars writing. And I kind of found that very humorous, actually. Daniel Jose Older wrote Last Shot. Could not stand that book. And from what I recall, a lot of people did not like that book either. And there was Claudia Gray, which, yes, Claudia Gray is a fantastic Star Wars author. I've enjoyed what she did with Master and Apprentice, Lost Stars. The Leia, Princess of Alderaan was not the best, but I thought she did a good job writing Leia. And I'm looking forward to reading her story here. But so she's an all-star, I would say. Charles Soule has not written a novel yet until Light of the Jedi. So how could we say that he is one of the best in Star Wars publishing if he's not doing any novels? I know he does the comics, which is fine. Maybe he's done the best with the Star Wars comic book writing. So, okay. But Justina Ireland, I'm not sure what she's written in Star Wars. I think she did a junior novel that nobody talked about, Spark of the Rebellion, Spark of the Resistance, something like that. And we also have Kevin Scott, who has written a couple of young reader books as well, maybe some comics. I'm not too sure. I gave up on the comics. We've got Jedi Suexi. Sorry, I'm horrible at pronouncing names. Saying, I like Claudia Gray. I'm not sure about the others. Yeah, I can tell you right now that Charles Soule, the only thing that I didn't like in his book was there's a few things, minor things, like the mention of a gun. It's like, can we just stick with blaster? But that's just beside the point here. We're trying to get like why they called these people the all-stars of Star Wars writing. If that were the case, why don't they have people like Alexander Freed writing in here? He, in my opinion, is one of the greatest Star Wars writers that they have right now. And of course, there's other authors that haven't been around for quite a while, like James Luceno, who wrote Catalyst. It would have been great to have him come back and do something with this era. But, it is an exciting time with Star Wars. You got this new era, time to distance themselves from the Galactic Civil War, the whole sequel era that we had with Disney. We've got a lot of repairs going on, it seems like, with Mandalorian. Disney Plus really putting out some more high quality content than what we really got with the sequel trilogy. I'm not here to hate on the sequel trilogy. I know people love it, people hate it. I have some issues with it, but this book series, The High Republic, it is exciting, but there's pros and cons to that. I mean, yeah, we're getting the new era, but the cons here, they said that there's gonna be like monthly material, like they're gonna be putting material out nonstop for this thing, and not just books, but comics, manga that's coming into this thing now. There's gonna be graphic novels, of course. You got the comics, but yeah, I don't like getting overwhelmed with the books. I think it kind of gets a little bit out of hand when they're trying to make it like your entire life you have to give up on everything that you like in order to keep up with the current material. That's not cool. I don't like that. That kind of made me a little bummed out and a little irritated with it. And this is just phase one. 2021 through 2022 is phase one of the High Republic. There are 3 phases. I'm going to guess that they're doing this for 3 years. Or, I mean, who knows? They didn't clarify the date exactly of when they were going to be ending phase one. They just said 2021 through 2022. I mean, that could be December of 2022, and then 2023 we get phase 2. I was going to go ahead and bring up a little graphic here of the phases here that they mentioned. So you got phase 1, Light of the Jedi. Phase 2 is Quest of the Jedi. And phase 3 is Trials of the Jedi. So, part 1, Light of the Jedi. Obviously, the title of the first book, which is pretty cool. You got book 2 coming out, written by Cavan Scott. Now, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to see what he can do with writing an adult novel. Like I said, Charles Soule, I was blown away with his style. He did excellent character development, incredible. Justina Ireland, in the stream that they did today, I'm not trying to dog on anybody, okay? They all seem like great people. They all had, they do go a little bit wild with the fans. They go on Twitter and they post really stupid things. They get political and all that nonsense. But they seemed fun. They were having a good time on the stream. But to call them all stars is a little far-fetched, in my opinion. Yeah, see, we've got ABC saying, why not James Luceno, Timothy Zahn, Steve Perry, Karen Travis, Michael Stackpole, bring in some other, Alexander Freed, he says. Small time. Hello. I'm glad to see that they are staking out an era which they can't create any major contradictions. Yeah, it's a good one. But don't be careful. There are some characters that are going to be mentioned in Light of the Jedi that we have met before in Star Wars: The Phantom Menace, and not just Yoda. So, a little spoiler nugget there. I won't say the names, but yeah, there are others. And ABC says, what is the sequel trilogy? That's funny. I want some. ABC would like some Old Republic stuff as well. Yeah, it'd be nice if they would continue writing some expanded universe novels. Just throw the Legends banner on there. No one will be confused. It's just like how they have their new High Republic banner on their new Star Wars books. But I sent a tweet out to one of the folks that Del Rey saying, hey, I know we have this new era going on. There's going to be a couple new books. We've got Alexander Freed, who's finishing up his trilogy with Alphabet Squadron. We've got Timothy Zahn's next Thrawn book. There's going to be a Mandalorian novel later on this year, too. And I think there might be another one. I lose track with these things. But I said, hey, besides those books, I mean, are we going to focus primarily on the High Republic and not put anything else out there? I'm just kind of curious. Can you say anything about what we're going to get? Because by them saying that monthly there's going to be new material out there with the High Republic, and that's a lot of stuff. Are they giving up on everything else? But he just said, oh, there's plenty of stories to tell. Gives me nothing. That tells me nothing. Like, I would like to know what else we're going to do in Star Wars than just focus on the High Republic, which is cool. It's cool, but I want more. There's more stories that could be told later on down the road, especially with what Timothy Zahn's tried to set up with his Thrawn books, with this threat that was supposed to be the biggest threat known to the galaxy with the Grisk. That's gone. We'll see if it's brought into the next Thrawn book, but just we'll have to wait and see. Let's see. Michael says, how do we know if that's a con yet? Shouldn't we wait to see how it goes? Yeah, we're definitely gonna wait to see how all this stuff turns out. Like I said, I'm happy with the first novel, The Test of Courage. The young reader book was okay, but that's just because it's a young reader. And they were saying, oh, you could just pick up the book and from any moment and you'll be fine. That's not really true, because there's stuff mentioned in that young reader book that's coming out alongside A Light of the Jedi, or it might be a day apart. But you read Light of the Jedi first and then A Test of Courage, because Test of Courage mentions stuff that's happened in the first book, but not really giving you full details on what that stuff really means. So, let's see. ABC, honestly, this reminds me of Shadows of the Empire. Difference, I like that project. Yeah, it does. I mean, it'd be cool if they brought out like a soundtrack for the High Republic. I don't see that happening, but we will be getting different material like manga, whichever you prefer. I don't care. But that's like the thing that bothers me, though, is just that every single month they're going to be doing short stories again in Insider Magazine, but that's just going to be for the High Republic, apparently, nothing else. Let's see, Michael. Also, monthly comic would count as a monthly content as well as fiction, Star Wars Insider. Yes. Joshua Wilson says, I'm excited, but I'm fearful that it could get too bloated like the DC TV shows. Yeah, that's the thing that I fear too, with like, not only is it just going to absorb every aspect of your life trying to keep up with this stuff, I mean, is it going to stay good continuously? Or are they just keeping the same 5 authors? The same 5 authors for all of this content. It's going to get kind of weird, I think. Especially with some of them have never written novels before. ABC says, I wouldn't be surprised that the High Republic will culminate with Leslie Headling's The Acolyte. Yeah, because the Acolyte show on Disney Plus is supposed to be at the tail end of the High Republic. We'll see. Obsidian 53B, hope with more phase they expand the media that covers this era, video games, TV series, animated series. Yeah, like we said, the High Republic, the Acolyte, or the end of the High Republic will be the Acolyte. ABC, yay, the Mandalorian novels. Yeah, looking forward to the Mandalorian novel coming out in December, but who knows what they'll go with that one. ABC, I think that once Ahsoka, Rangers of the New Republic, and Obi-Wan Kenobi shows should unleash more novels, I hope. Yeah, but see, the thing is, I hope they don't just base every little thing now off of the shows that they have. They got to keep some original stories to the books and to other material. Christopher Nelson, I've had no luck with Story Group on Twitter either. I asked him whether to expect any new Legends novels. His response was to fly 2,000 miles to my house and shooting my dog with a gun. What a jerk. Well, Chris, thanks for joining. Yeah, they seem to not respond too well to some people on Twitter anymore. Some of my reviews, I think, have kind of put me on a blacklist, I think, which is kind of stupid. Which brings me also, I should clarify something that someone mentioned in the comments, that I was being paid for reviewing the books. That's not true. I wish I was getting paid, but I'm not. I get a book, I read it, and I review it. I give it my honest review, and if you don't believe that I don't get paid, then just go look at some of my other reviews where I dog on these books and say that they're trash. Because, yeah, I would like a paycheck, but I don't. Brian VRM, hey Adam, hey everyone, have a great stream, Matthew. Thank you, Adam. Hope you get to feeling well. So let's go ahead and bring up some of the other the books that they have up their sleeves. I mean, we have, of course, the book 2 from Cavan Scott. That's coming out pretty soon. The name escapes me right now, but I don't have a picture of that. We talked about that on a previous stream. So Cavan Scott's book is coming out in a couple months. I think it's in April. So the other things that were dropped, the news that was dropped today, we have Star Wars: The High Republic Race to Crash Point Tower from Daniel Jose Older. This is going to be a YA book. Okay, it says New York Times best-selling author on there. He wrote Last Shot. Could not stand that book. But yeah, we're going to see how that goes. He says they're riding on a droid. So it's not like a little speeder bike or anything. That is an actual droid. Let's go ahead and look at something else. Like, I just don't. Like, we don't know who all of these characters are. Some of these characters are mentioned in other books and comics, but I'll share another one for you. Now, this is going to be from Kevin Scott and Rachel Stott. This is a graphic novel, The Monster of Temple Peak. And that lady there with the pink or purple lightsaber on the cover is a monster hunter. And they mentioned her name in some like concept art, but you know, I don't retain all this stuff. Got other things to do. But you know, the graphic novel, interesting. It looks pretty thick there, but I'm sure that's just the art. They slap a cover on a blank image there. So I guess that'll be different than comics. We got the main. They keep saying the ongoing comic series, but a lot of these ongoing comic series have ended on like issue 25. So we'll see how ongoing this really truly is. I don't know if it's not successful. Will they pull the plug early on this thing? I don't know. I doubt it. They'll keep it going, even if nobody wants it. Which a lot of people have told me in the comments section that they think, not here, but in my review, saying that they're not going to come anywhere near this trash. They haven't read it. They probably didn't even really watch my review, but that's fine. It's fine. Everybody has their own opinions about things and what they will and will not read. Just like I will not read the Star Wars Expanded Universe Legends, young reader books, YA novels, comic books. There's just too much other material out there that I want to read. And here we have another YA novel, Out of the Shadows, from Justina Ireland. Now, this is going to be a step up from what her previous book, A Test of Courage, which is a young reader. This one is going to be a YA. So there you have the main character, Vernestra Rowe, here on this cover and on this cover. So she's, getting to continue on with her character. So I wonder how that's going to really work out. I want to see how the characters are going to change and transition over when other authors take over and see what they do with these characters. That'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to that. Because we could all see a difference in characters whenever people write them, with all the other books. Some people do a great job and some people do an awful job at characterization. So let's move on to the next thing here. This is the final thing that I have to show you. I don't know how I feel about it, really. They've adapted a couple of other YA books, and both of them happen to be from Claudia Gray, and that would be the manga. And here it is. Star Wars The High Republic, The Edge of Balance. And this is number 1 clearly written on it. So this is going to be like a part 1 of how many I do not know. This is going to be a story by Shania Shimei. Sorry with the names. And Justina Ireland. So once again, Justina Ireland involved writing these characters. So that's going to be interesting. I did pick up part 1 of the Lost Stars manga. I'm just going to say manga for the rest of the time. Manga. And it was okay. It's different. It's just a different style. I know different people have different types of reading. People like books, people like the comics, and people like all of it. I've never been a huge fan of just like manga. It's weird to me. So let's go ahead and go down and see what you guys are talking about over here in the comment section. ABC says, let's not forget that Pablo Hidalgo is the head of the story group. So yeah, don't be surprised at the general response towards the fans. Oh yes, that's right. Yes, there's a really popular Star Wars YouTuber out there that was made fun of by Pablo Hidalgo. It's interesting. Interesting that these people feel the need to criticize the fans. Of course, they are victims of a lot worse, I'm sure. People are brutal. It's disgusting how people act. It's like when the stream was going on with the StarWars.com thing, on this High Republic launch thing, people were just rude and disgusting in the comments, the live chat. I don't get it. I just don't get it. So we learned nothing from 2020. Obsidian 53B. Wish Lucasfilm and the fans had a better relations when it comes to Star Wars Legends. I have no problem trying to explore both aspects of Star Wars. Exactly. How easy would it be to just slap a banner across the top like they have been doing with these reprints that say Legends? No confusion. You got two separate markets there. Just put them all out in paperback with a banner on it. We don't need to have the elaborate hardcover crap. Just give us the paperbacks and we'll be happy, right? I'd be happy with that. It's better than nothing. Continue the story. Give us if you're at least going to stop it and end it, just give us a high quality ending. Of course, I don't have any much to say about that because I haven't made it very far in the expanded universe. Even though I have them all, haven't read very much. And you can see I've kind of reorganized a little bit on the shelf back there and stacked some books a little bit differently. Tried to save some space on the bookshelf, and it worked. So yeah, you got some long series. You can stack books. ABC says, yikes, that Daniel Jose Older novel cover looks awful. Those look like character rejected from Rebels. LOL. Yeah, some of the art's a little weird. You can clearly see that the art here, very different style than what's on here, the YA, which this is more similar to what they did with the adult novel, but still it's a different look. So it looks like they're going to be consistent with that art style, which I think the Daniel Jose Older is not a YA. I believe it's actually going to be a young reader book like A Test of Courage. And Justina Ireland's next book is going to be a YA. So they're all rotating, doing different things. It's going to be interesting to see what they do and how they do it all. But if they're doing monthly stuff, I'm not guaranteeing you that I'm going to be reading all of this stuff and getting it out there as fast as possible because I got a lot of other things that I would like to read, like Expanded Universe. Got some catching up to do. This is the year that I need to focus on the approaching storm, which I'm 20% through the approaching storm, and then I've got a lot of Clone Wars books to read, and I also need to revisit Darth Plagueis. I need to get my review out there for the Phantom Menace. To get some stuff I got to do with the Expanded Universe. So Kretschmann, Jonathan, hi buddy, can you do a review of these 3 Terminator novels, Infiltrator, Future War, etc.? Well, if I can find them out in the wild, I'll pick them up. I know I do have Terminator 2 and Terminator 3 novelizations. So, yeah, I've seen one of those Terminator books out there before, and I picked it up and I put it back. Christopher Nelson, good news, my dog didn't die. He was just branded with a Legends banner. Oh, gosh, that's awful. That's horrible. Krista, do they really say mean things to you on Twitter, or do they just ignore you at this point, or just say like repeat the same stuff as always? Because with me, a lot of the stuff they ignore me a lot now. They really do. Luke Segota started with Into the Dark, struggling through it. Not sure if it's just due to the YA style or what, but Light of the Jedi is awesome so far. Yes, see, that's just the thing is you sometimes you think like, oh, there really can't be that big of a difference in like a junior novel or a YA novel and an adult novel. There is a huge difference in writing styles. It's like more summarized, and a lot of the junior stuff like this is like the same story beats. It's always someone in trouble and the people hate each other for it, and then they have to win them back over. Just weird things like that. It's always the same. Always the same formula in all these junior type books. But I mean, there are some cool characters in this, of course, and it'd be great to see some of them show up in an adult novel. I'm sure that'll happen at some point, the way that they're talking about those 3 phases monthly with stories and being short stories published in the Insider magazine. So there's another way that they're getting your money. Oh, subscribe to the Insider magazine. So there's what, $50 for what, 6 months, maybe more. But yeah, very good character development in Light of the Jedi. Which, by the way, tonight in about 40 minutes, I think, maybe an hour. I don't know. I can't remember what time I scheduled it, but I've got a chapter by chapter overview coming out where it's like basically I'm summarizing the book for you chapter by chapter. And I've got the first part. There's 3 parts to this book. It's going to be spoiler heavy, obviously, because I'm summarizing the book chapter by chapter. So there's going to be 3 parts to that. the second part might come out this weekend or next week. So if you don't plan on reading the book, but you still want to know what's going on in there, you can find my videos and I'll inform you of what's actually going on. Jonathan says you will read the High Republic. That's good. I got to go back up here. If Quicksilver 324 says, I'm going to make my own High Republic because of what this Republic is doing is not good, and I'm going to make mine line up with Legends and make some original characters go with the current one. That'd be interesting. And that's what's cool. Is like people can do what they want, write their own. They don't like the books that are being written, write your own. I like that. It's like when you create your own headcanon, this stuff can be, you can interrupt your thoughts, but sometimes you just got to push it aside and pretend it never happened. Like The Last Jedi for me didn't happen. Even Rise of Skywalker. There's so much stuff that's like, I'll pretend it didn't happen. That's what I think Disney Plus is trying to do too. They're trying to push things away or fix things as best they can. Jonathan, yeah, I'm going to read that. Christopher Nelson, in all seriousness, I have a good relationship with those folks on Twitter, but at this point, they're just repeating talking points, which I guess is understandable. Yeah, and I'm sure they probably get a lot of those questions all the time. People probably private message them. They've probably received mean, hateful comments about it too, which everybody's hateful all the time on Twitter. Small time, I imagine Christopher's dog being wholly uninterested in a Porg or Baby Yoda chew toy since they're from Disney Star Wars. Yeah. ABC, I don't know why, but this whole project, The High Republic, seems to be missing something. It kind of seems thrown together with only very thin planning. Well, like they said sorry, my water cup just made a funny sound. They said, we all met in person twice. I guess it's hard to get everybody together. Who knows? I don't know where they all live. And I'm sure Kevin Scott, he's got an English accent, so maybe he's over there in England. I don't know. Hard to get everybody together to do this stuff. But of course, there's Skype. They could talk to each other. But yeah, just the people that they chose is just such a random thing. It's silly that these are the all-stars. Maybe they just said that to make them feel good and for other people to feel good that are new to Star Wars. Because this is definitely something that if you're new to Star Wars reading and you want to get into it, this would be a great jumping point. You're at the very beginning of the timeline, which if they did do some like very good planning, very like superior top-notch planning in the cover, like in the front timeline, how awesome would it have been if they actually printed the titles of all of these books in the High Republic? That would have been great. Like, oh, they all had it planned out. Here's what's coming. Here's what we're going to have. But no, they don't. It's just the High Republic, Light of the Jedi, and then the next thing you got is Dooku Jedi Lost. So, I guess you couldn't do that. I don't know. I don't know what the rules are. Why don't they have all this stuff in that timeline with the High Republic? Just like have a new section, High Republic, maybe a little fold out in the dust jacket. I don't know. Getting carried away here. Kretschm Jonathan, it will be my first canon novel read. Oh, okay. Well, I think you'll enjoy it. It's pretty cool. A lot of fun. Characters were great. Characters were very great. Elzar Mann is my favorite character, probably in the new Star Wars canon. He's a Jedi. Cool stuff happens with him. His opinions. He's much like a Qui-Gon Jinn, basically. So, Quicksilver 324 says, I mean, Charles Soule and Kevin Scott's story are pretty good. For the other authors, I don't know about. Okay. Well, Claudia Gray, she did a pretty good job with Master and Apprentice and Lost Stars. She also did the Star Wars Leia, Princess of Alderaan book. And I think maybe one more, maybe not. I need to study before I do these things. Christopher Nelson says, even Pablo was always really nice before he locked his account down and blocked many of us. Yeah, I think Pablo just blocked everybody. He's done with it. Everybody, I think the whole Snoke questioning really drove him over the edge. Like, who's Snoke? Every question was, who is Snoke, and are legends coming back? Quinn Green, was it a page turner in your opinion, or did you sometimes felt it dragged? High Republic did not drag for me. The villains were very interesting, very different, but I feel at least with this book, and then with this book and this book, what they've been teasing about these villains is really not true. If you read the book, you'll understand why, or listen to the chapter by chapter overviews. You'll see what I'm talking about. They're like acting like it's these things that they've been scared of this entire time. It's not. It feels misleading. ABC says the only thing this project seems to be consistent is the sheer volume of this material. Definitely a lot of material. Which reminds me, I do need to. I was thinking about subscribing to the comics and reading them at least for a couple months. Give that a shot before I unsubscribe to the comics. Because, new story. Let's just see where it goes. Because I gave up on the comics a long time ago. Maybe it's worth diving into the comics with this one just to get that full experience in this new era. But I might not get the comics. I don't know. I can't make up my mind with it. Got a lot of other books that I would like to read. Quicksilver says, I have two Merluca Jedi called Rom Ulysses and Cleo Saul that sit on the council and are part of the main cast along with the Mandalorian Jedi named Zane Urdo. That sounds pretty cool. Cleo Saul, like that, and Rom Ulysses. Sean Cheney says, I'll read the comics for free online. It's a good idea. And we'll probably add a book or two on my monthly Audible account. I want to like the High Republic, but it feels like Forces of Destiny tone and direction. I don't know much about the Forces of Destiny, but I could see why they set this new High Republic era in the spot that they did. They want to distance themselves from the Old Republic, so I guess maybe either to not cause confusion or the comparisons of like, hey, well, EU did it better, and they want to distance themselves from the Skywalker saga. That's what they wanted to do. They just don't want to admit that. Let's see here. Electric Coconut. I like that name. Claudia Gray is phenomenal. Lost Stars is my favorite Star Wars book, and she always knocks it out of the park when she writes Leia. Yes, I think she does a great job with Leia, too. Master and Apprentice was a great book. For some reason, in Master and Apprentice, I started to hate the book in the middle of it, but then it spiked back up and was a great novel. So I'm really looking forward to reading her book right here, which this one is coming out in February. So I'm taking my time with it. I know a lot of people that received it put it out there already, but I'm going to wait, let this first wave blow over, and then get to that one. So Mandalorian Grek, favorite book of the High Republic. Well, of the two that I've read so far, I'm going to say Light of the Jedi. It's a good read. Seriously, good read. I mean, I know Charles Soule, he's real popular with the comics, wrote the Darth Vader, one of the Darth Vader series, and that's where a lot of people know him. And I guess that's why he's a fan favorite. So this is his first Star Wars novel. And it doesn't say, here's what's funny, is that it doesn't say New York Times bestseller, but it will on his next book, which is really cool because, I know this is going to be a bestseller. That's for sure. ABC says, I think that The Mandalorian was just lopsided success, that some parts of Lucasfilm felt left out. So their answer to the show's success is the High Republic. And they are, hey, we are here too. Or, here we are. Yeah. Well, maybe. Yeah. Christopher Nelson, is Lost Stars good as everyone says? I really enjoyed Lost Stars. Of course, it's like it's a Romeo and Juliet of Star Wars. It's a YA novel. I really enjoyed it. It was my favorite novel or YA novel. Favorite Star Wars book in the canon. I think it still is. It's just a great characters, great story. It is fun. It had Tarkin was in it for a minute. If I reread it, I think if I reread it, I'm probably not going to like it as much as I did when I first read it. So I do need to revisit it just to see if it is really the way I feel it is in my head still. Because, things change over time. Likes, dislikes, stories can change where you are in your life. You know what I mean? What is the best and worst new canon novel so far? Well, like I said, Lost Stars was my favorite. But if I'm going to go with like adult Star Wars canon novel, this is when things get tricky. I always have to turn around and look at the shelf. So the best Star Wars novel right now? It's a loaded, that's a hard question. I don't know. The worst one is probably going to have, well, I'm not, okay, it's going to be Queen's Peril. Okay. Queen's Peril is an awful book, but that's YA. So if I'm not going to include YA, then I'll probably say Last Shot, which is Daniel Jose Older. That's my opinion. Other people love it. I don't know why. So the best, geez, that's a hard question. Let's just go with Shadowfall, maybe. Let's go with Shadowfall, because that was the last Alexander Freed novel. That was book 2 in the Alphabet Squadron, which Alphabet Squadron, the first book, I hated that one. That was a chore to get through. But reading the second one, I couldn't put that book down. It was great. It's like he fixed the things that I hated. Fantastic book. But Alexander Freed, he also did Catalyst. Catalyst is an excellent book. But you need to follow that one up with Rogue One to get the full feeling with that. But that's a good one. It has a character in it, a Catalyst, that I would like to see more of that apparently has been forgotten. That would be Has Obit. He's a cool character. Go look him up on Wikipedia. See if he has a spot. I'm sure he has a spot on there. Quicksilver. Rom wields 2 green lightsabers. Cleo wields a dual-bladed yellow lightsaber, and Zane has a silver lightsaber in the same crossguard style as a Stallion Gios, and have a jetpack and blaster pistol. Awesome. Jetpack. That'd be sweet. And the silver lightsaber, I'd have to see what that looks like. That sounds really cool. And I know a lot of people hate the crossguard look on a lightsaber. I think it looks freaking cool. I really do. And I know that in some of the concept art with the High Republic, some of them do have the crossguard, which this Wookiee right here, he has a crossguard on there. Buryaga. That's his name. He was pretty cool. Quinn Green. Was there any cool Easter eggs in Light of the Jedi, or where you call forwards to what we know in the present day? There are some, I don't want to give things away, but I'll just say that there are names there that are in, I'm blurry. There are names, Jedi mentioned in Light of the Jedi that, my camera messing up on me. There we go. There are Jedi in Light of the Jedi that we will see again in The Phantom Menace. Christopher Nelson says, what's your best and worst Legends book so far? Okay, well, best Legends book so far, I'm going to say Outbound Flight. That book blew me away. I was having a little bit of Star Wars fatigue because of the new canon and the Legend stuff, because I just read Rogue Planet, and I was like, man, I don't want to do another book like this. That one hurt, which I know a lot of people like that one too, because they've read the book that it ties into, and I've later on down the road in a New Jedi Order, maybe, right? Someone might correct me. But yeah, Outbound Flight was incredible. That lit the fire for the Star Wars, like, oh, I love this so much. And then the worst thing that I've read in the Star Wars Expanded Universe is going to be Waru. He's the one that haunts my dreams. The Crystal Star. The Crystal Star is the worst thing that I've ever read in the Star Wars Expanded Universe. Then again, there's somebody out there that absolutely loves that book. Surely they're just kidding themselves. Obsidian 53B. Do you think they will ever try to do their own Old Republic, considering what you said about the High Republic placement in the timeline? I don't think they ever will. If they do, it might be a series on Disney Plus in like 6 years. Or, you know, that trilogy of films that Rian Johnson was supposed to be doing. Maybe he'll do that one. Just lost my place. You guys are moving these comments along. I love it. ABC says, by the way, The Mandalorian has taken the #1 spot as the most pirated show in the world. Wow. Up until now, it was the Game of Thrones. Wow. Interesting. I was thrilled with The Mandalorian. I really enjoyed it. I liked it. And speaking of The Mandalorian, I don't have it with me anymore. There is a novelization to The Mandalorian. I don't know if you saw. They talked about that already. I think it's over here. It is. Here we go. There's a junior novelization of The Mandalorian, and sadly, it is only season 1. It's written by Joe Schreiber, who wrote the horror novels in the expanded universe, such as Death Troopers, Red Harvest, and what was that? Mall. It's up there somewhere. Mall Lockdown. So like the creepy books is what he wrote, Joe Schreiber. And I read chapter 1, and it's definitely. Someone asked me in the comments, like, "Hey, is this? How does it read? Is it read good? Is it written well?" It's written like a junior kids book, basic words to just move the story along really fast. The first chapter was like 1 page. I can't recommend that you go pick that out, pick it up and read it and be satisfied with it. And I really don't think anybody really will, unless you're a kid that wants to read a novelization. So Joshua Wilson says, Gray's book is coming out on my B-Day. Awesome. Leave it to Disney to make me buy my own B-Day gift. That's pretty funny. Star Wars Timeline. Hey, guys, after reading 200 plus legends and many canon novels, I'd say Lost Stars is on the top, one of the top books ever. Wow. Okay. Star Wars Timeline. I love that logo. Looks good on there. Dante Jenkins of Burning Abyss. Do you think the way that the marketing, the villains, and conflict is reflected in the books? And if not, should they off-market it? Should have marketed it different? I don't know how they could really market the villains on here, other than just say, "Oh, and a mysterious group meddles with the peace." They wanted to make it sound spicy, I guess. Something that the Jedi fear the most. No. At least not in the first 2 books. There's nothing there that they feared the most. There's just some catastrophic things that happen that, of course, anybody's going to be afraid of. But the villains are very unique, very different than anything that I've read in any Star Wars book. And I'm very happy with the way that they turned out. Very interesting group of villains. Seriously, very interesting. And I cannot wait to see where it goes with these villains and how they continue on in the other stories. Electric Coconut. I like Star Wars so much, I bought the 3-volume manga set. Nice. Artist Luna. Worst book of the new canon may be Heir to the Jedi. Yes. That is bad. One of my early reviews was Heir to the Jedi, and it was actually a rant. It was basically a rant. I had more of a baby face back then too. Such a bad book. That is bad. See, there's so many of these books that are awful. There's some good ones, but man, there are a lot that just suck. Of course, you've got, like I said, the Queen's Peril is just a big pile of menstruation. Literally in the book, there's just some weird stuff. Why would they put a blood monitor in the Queen's bedchamber? So when that time of the month hits, everybody's going to have to know about it. Weird stuff. ABC says, I was toying with buying the Solo a Star Wars Story novelization, but I'm not sure about Mur Lafferty as a writer, primarily because it links to Rogue One. I thought it was a decent book. Wasn't too bad. Some of these novelizations are actually better than the films, in my opinion. As much as I love Rogue One as a movie, novelization was incredible. It's like the only thing that I like about the movie more is like, I get to see the fancy things. I get to see the special effects. Looks awesome. The book had some great things added to it. Yeah, ABC says Alexander Freed rules. Yep. Which is the writer of Rogue One. Rogue One novelization. Star Wars Timeline. Heir to the Jedi. Luke learning the Force by moving space noodles. Yes. How did that get approved at Lucasfilm? It's a very good question. Maybe we should just start tweeting stuff like that at Del Rey Star Wars. It's like space noodles. Bring back the space noodles. Oh gosh, that was such a bad book. Mandalorian Greg Catalyst is by James Luceno. Freed wrote the novelization of Rogue One. Yes. Did I mess that up earlier? I'm sorry if I did. Yeah. Alexander Freed, excellent author. James Luceno, also a great author. Mandalorian Greg, James Luceno is my favorite Star Wars author. It's a shame he doesn't write more. ABC, well, it's not his fault. I'm sure Del Rey's pushing a lot of these veteran Star Wars writers aside to get new blood for some reason. I think one of a great choice that they should have gone with, they should have called one of my favorite Star Wars authors, Drew Karpyshyn, the writer of the Star Wars, the Bane trilogy. He would have been fantastic. Talk about great character development. Man, Bane, such an awesome character written by old Karpyshyn. Star Wars timeline. Lucino is absolutely fantastic. Yes. Mad Machad. Yo. Kretschmann Jonathan. Which Shadow of Empire media do you prefer? The novel, the comic books, the video game? I'm going to have to say the video game. Video game was awesome. Nintendo 64 was my jam. But I also recently have picked up this Star Wars Shadows of the Empire, the vinyl. First time on vinyl. So newer Star Wars material being printed out there. The vinyl record. Music's okay. It's fine. Sean says, are the old Republic Easter eggs in the High Republic books so far? Are there old Republic Easter eggs in the High Republic books so far? None that I was able to pick up on. No, just a couple of names that you'll find familiar. Maybe not familiar. There's another guy that I talked to that reviews books, didn't pick up on the names. So whenever you get these books, sometimes it's a good idea to, if something sounds a little bit familiar, like that's the case with me. For some reason, you guys watch my channel. You guys know on my live streams, my mind goes blank on some of these things. I'll read a book and I'll be like, what did I just read? I got 3 kids. I got, the wife, the house, the bills, the full-time job. My brain doesn't work all the time. But yeah, there are names, just most random weird names that popped out to me. And I was like, I know exactly who that is. And I looked it up to verify, and I was correct. There are 2 or 3 other names in this book, Light of the Jedi, that have made an appearance in Star Wars before. Quicksilver, also in Phone Noto's piece of High Republic concept art, is Orla Jarini, the character on the left wielding the white blade twin saber, and who's the Jedi with the black lightsaber on the right. See, I don't know black lightsaber on the right. On which book is this that you're talking about? Because I'm interested to know what you're talking about now. I don't know all the characters on these books. If you're talking about Light of the Jedi, I'm pretty sure we've got... you're talking about these guys? What are you talking about? I'll see that comment later on down the line here. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Sorry, Quicksilver. Star Wars timeline. From Legends, as much as everyone loved the phrase... My brain's starting to fry, guys. It's getting late. From Legends, as much as everyone loved to praise Zahn's Thrawn trilogy, I personally felt the Jedi Academy trilogy nails the core of Star Wars heroes' journey through themes. I enjoyed the Jedi Academy trilogy. Not the greatest stuff, in my opinion, but I enjoyed it. That's the thing that I loved about the Star Wars Expanded Universe. Is as bad as some of those books were, it was still so much fun to read them. It wasn't a chore. It wasn't... like there's some agenda box that the authors had to check to put in there just to have it in there to please every single person that exists in the world. It was just like, here's a story that's being told naturally, good or bad. ABC says Greg Rucka's The Guardians of the Wills short story is one of my faves as well. Oh yeah, I remember that one. They had to save some orphans, I believe. I thought that one was okay. Quicksilver, Phil Noto. I'm correcting an autocorrect on the last comment. Okay, yeah, I'm still at a loss on that one. Like I said, some of these names, like those that you mentioned, I don't recognize. Because I honestly have not really looked at a lot of the concept art and remember the characters that were released and mentioned in the concept art. I like to go into a lot of these things blind, like the back of books. I don't read the back of books. When there's something, there's not really much to read on this one, but you look at the inside flap and there's a little summary here. I don't read that stuff. I like to go completely blind. It's more fun that way. For me. Kretschmann says, I already read that. Where am I at here? From Legends, I love A.C. Crispin's The Han Solo trilogy and Zahn, Heir to the Empire trilogy. Love Lucino's Cloak of Deception. Cloak of Deception was a really good book. I enjoyed that one too. I enjoyed that one too. Star Wars Timeline says, thanks. Discovered your channel a few days ago. Awesome content. Well, thank you. You're welcome. But that logo looks legit. ABC Timeline says, ABC, excellent mentions. Cloak of Deception book proved the prequel trilogy and many great ideas, and novels execute them well. Shatterpoint, for example. Shatterpoint. Yeah, I need to get through The Approaching Storm. I really need to push through that one and read that. I know a lot of people dog on that one. So from what I've read so far on The Approaching Storm, I'm enjoying it. ABC says, for me, Shadows of the Empire, I like the novel and the soundtrack. Okay. Yeah, the novel was a little, I guess because I love the game so much, when I got around to finally reading the book, I was like, this sucks. Game's better. Makes me want to play the game. Makes me want to play the game right now. Actually, I thought about it the other day. I said, I want to plug my 64 up and play some Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. But I haven't done that. I just don't have the time. Hey, Critchman Jonathan says, what is your thought on the new Rogue Squadron movie? Well, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Anything mentioned with Star Wars projects, I won't believe it until I actually see it. Yeah, I know the director was there saying, oh, I'm working on this. You got other producers saying, oh, we're working on this. Until I see it, doesn't exist. It's like that Andor. They've been talking about Andor for what, 2 or 3 years now? Kenobi, been talking about that for 2 or 3 years. It just keeps getting pushed back. And yeah, okay, we're working on it this time for real. We're working on it for real this time. Okay, I'm not going to buy into it. I've learned to tame my expectations. That's one thing that the sequel trilogy has really taught me: taming expectations. Star Wars Timeline. Wish I could stay for longer, but have a blast, guys. Awesome channel, Geek Static. Love and support. Well, thank you, Star Wars Timeline. Thanks for joining. To go check out some of your content. Mandalorian Greg, are the Nile similar to the Yuuzhan Vong? Well, I'm sorry, Mandalorian, I cannot answer that question because I have not read anything about those villains yet. Yeah, got a lot of catching up to do in the expanded universe. Quicksilver 324. Orla was the book Into the Dark. It's not a spoiler. Oh, okay. Orla. Okay. I like the cover. It's decent. I like the art style. It's like a painting. Martin says, thank you, sir, for your Star Wars content. Really love, never stop. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. ABC, not too enthused about Patty Jenkins directing Rogue Squadron, especially after the mess that was Wonder Woman 1984. I have no interest in seeing Wonder Woman. I know that was the movie that changed many lives because it was like, oh, we have a female superhero that every woman in the world can look up to. So, okay, well, me and my wife watched the movie, and she was laughing about it, saying, wow, why did you buy this on Blu-ray? I said, I thought you were supposed to love it. It's supposed to be awesome. So I'm not going to see Wonder Woman in 1984, and I did not know that she was the director that did that. So that's a little bit disappointing. The villain of the Wonder Woman first movie was comical. I mean, the villain just looked like somebody's dad. You know, he's like, oh look, there's old Peter's dad. Didn't look intimidating at all. I'm sorry, guys, if you really like that movie, but yeah, I found it comical as well as my wife. She thought it was silly. Quinn Green says, does the Light of the Jedi have the classic splash page of the Star Wars logo like the movies? Always enjoyed seeing it in the novel form. Well, we'll just go see if it does. Would you like to see it? If you don't want to see it, look away now. Is this what you're talking about? Boom! It's got like the High Republic logos behind it, or logo behind it. And then let's see if there is skipping over the timeline. Yeah, they get a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and then a little tiny Star Wars Light of the Jedi. And then there is like a what you call it there? The scroll. what is that thing called? Why my mind's going blank here. Everybody was freaking out about it because it wasn't in Rogue One. Obsidian 53B, are these novels, in your opinion, setting up a new galactic war in this era of peace or something more contained in scale? Yes and no. I mean, it's like warfare, how it's changed over time in like reality, how it's like in Star Wars, the classic Galactic Civil War. Obviously, there's two sides there. You got your, well, I guess it's still kind of the same because it was like, oh, look, the terrorist organization. They're all wearing their own. I don't know how to answer that. There's going to be some stuff that happens that, they're probably going to be hunting down these villains if they could find them. It's hard to talk about without getting into spoil conversations there. So I don't think there's not going to be a giant civil war or anything like that. It's a time for peace. There's like a lot of hippies going on right now out there, like preaching we are the Republic. You just have to read it, find out, or watch those chapter overviews like I mentioned before. ABC says, I would like for Michael McLaren, look her up, to direct, or Bryce Dallas Howard. Yeah, Bryce Dallas Howard would do it. I'd like that. She's been on The Mandalorian several times, or twice. I'd like that. Joshua Wilson, what would it take for you to stream Shadow of the Empire game? Well, if I knew how to do that, I would do that. Otherwise, it's going to be just like me not doing a live stream, but setting up a camera at my TV and a camera at me and just flipping back and forth, I guess. I guess I'd probably have to get some sort of capture card or something. I don't know. I'm getting to that point in my life now where I don't know things about technology. I don't know how to do things. I have a Mac. I don't have the PC where everybody seems to know how to do all this cool stuff. But I would love to be able to do that. You guys can watch me die on the video games over and over again because I suck at games. I really do. I've posted a couple of game videos from my Xbox. What I streamed, I didn't stream it. I just recorded it, like live captured it, and then posted it later on to YouTube with like commentary because I recorded my voice as I'm playing. And I died all the time. It was awful. Kind of embarrassing. ABC says Andor started filming in England in November. They were literally filming the show. Okay, well that's good. Just gotta wait until we get that trailer. I can still cancel it. Madam Machad says Shadows of the Empire is on PC if you just don't want to set up the N64. Mac. I'm a Mac. I got Mac. I have a little laptop over there, and it sucks. It doesn't even have enough memory in it to update. I don't know why I bought it. It was like $100, a bad $100. Shouldn't have spent that money. Obsidian 53B, I do hope that most of these new series and books won't get canned like EU did with all their Star Wars video games, but we'll try to temper my expectations in the future. Yeah, tame those expectations. Won't be disappointed if you do that. But I think, I guess, the High Republic is going to be neat, at least for a while. And then I think it's going to probably annoy people, maybe. I don't know. It's so new. It's so fresh. It's going to be a whole new experience. We've never had anything like this ever before in Star Wars. That's sarcasm. We've had it because, Star Wars Expanded Universe had an Old Republic where they had several books, comics, games, all that sort of thing. ABC says, yeah, the original Wonder Woman was way overhyped. Yes, it was. Especially the last third of the movie. It was just awful. Yeah, it was. ABC, just to mention Star Wars Andor, there's a behind-the-scenes sizzle reel available on YouTube. The cast is really interesting. Oh, okay. I have to look that one up. I never thought to look for that. Small time, I think it would be cool if the High Republic books eventually leads to Darth Tenebris or Darth Plagueis. That would be cool. That's what I'm hoping that Acolyte show will be about. I mean, because if it's going to be the tail end of the High Republic, what better way to end the High Republic with leading into things like Plagueis? And then, that whole generation builds up to, or who knows how long do Munes live? Plagueis was a Mune, right? How long do they live? I'm sure that would work out. I think they could do that. And who knows how long the High Republic actually lasts? I mean, I'm 3 phases. How many years is this going to go on for? 3, 4, 6? Christian says, I would like to see fail again and again in Shadow. Oh, you would like to see me fail again and again in Shadows of the Empire? Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people would like to see that. Yeah, correction, autocorrect there. Yeah, you want to see me fail in Shadows of the Empire, which I still remember. There's like parts in the credits in that game when you beat it, little comical things. I think there's mentions of like moose and wampas eat cheese or something. That might have even been a code. Wampas eat cheese. I just remember there's some like funny comical things in the credits. Madam Chaz says, "Gotta go. Have a good night, man." Well, hey, have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. And I think that might actually be it here, unless you guys have a couple more questions that you'd like to throw in there about Star Wars books or anything else. High Republic. I mean, it's been a great conversation here. I am happy that we are getting the High Republic. Sometimes this stuff can kind of come off as like, oh, it doesn't sound like you're too happy about it. I am. I just find it funny that it's like, oh, these are the top 5 fan favorites, the all-stars of Star Wars canon. That's a joke. That's a joke. Charles Soule, though, excellent with that first book. He knocks it out. He does a great job. I'm looking forward to the Kevin Scott's book. I'm looking forward to the Claudia Gray novel here. I'm going to be positive about it. If I'm not going to like it, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to say it sucks, just like with this one. I think I gave it like a C+, I think, or B-. The C+, B-. It's basically the same. I mean, it's like it has great lore added in this book to some Sith conversation. That's the thing that sucks too, though, with Star Wars. It's like always talking about the lore of Sith, like, oh, back when the Sith wore this mask, or back when, that's so-and-so's lightsaber. Just freaking give us those stories. I want to see that kind of stuff. Don't just keep teasing it. The J.J. Abrams of Star Wars material is the lore mentions. It's like, oh, that sounds really cool. What about it? I don't know. Maybe somebody else will do it. I don't want to be mean. Ketchum says au revoir. Bye. I think. I'm an idiot. Just saying no. Obsidian 53B. Okay, well, gotta go, but can't wait to read Light of the Jedi and see what the era has to offer. Yes, I think you're really going to enjoy Light of the Jedi, honestly. If not, come back, harass me, give me thumbs downs, hate me, unsubscribe, all that good stuff. ABC says, I have to see your review for Solo novel. LOL. Yeah, go for it. It's up there. It's posted. I think. Should be posted. Quinn Green says, so you recommend I get Light of the Jedi tomorrow? Yes, I really do. It's a great, fun book. Charles Soule, that might be the number one seller, though, is the character development. If you really... Oh, yeah, I recommend it. I don't know where I was going with that thought. But yes, definitely get that. I think it's going to be a great way to kick it off. I don't think you'll have to go with the young reader book if you don't want to. I think these types of things are people that just have to absorb absolutely everything. They need to get these. Because I told myself a long time ago, I was like, I'm done with the young reader stuff. Because they all have the same formula. It's the same stuff all the time. But here I am. I read it. They sent it to me, so I read it. Don't know how long I'll be able to continue with that trend of reading those. I guess it all just really depends on the other stories. Maybe I'll read one more, see how that goes. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting into Claudia Gray's YA novel there. ABC says, then I'll decide if I'll buy it. I liked Most Wanted from Ray Carson. Yeah, I liked Most Wanted. I thought that was pretty good. Pretty decent YA novel. Au revoir and good night. Well, same to you. Good night. And au revoir. Am I saying that right? Or I could be like really redneck with it. Or revoir. Or ver. I'm stupid. Mandalorian Greg says, thanks for your content, my Mandalorian brother. This is the way. This is the way. I don't know why I did that. That could be offensive now. I'm canceled now. Sorry. Oh, geez. I just canceled myself. But anyway, yeah, don't recommend that you pick this one up. I mean, if you want to support old Joe Schreiber, then I guess you could do that with the Mandalorian novelization for the junior readers. After I read the first chapter, I had to put it down and say, no, thank you. I'll put that in the closet for my kid to read whenever he's able to read such a thing like this. He might have fun with it because I know he likes Mandalorian. He's watched a couple episodes. I haven't let him watch all the episodes, just some of them. Some of those good ones. Quinn Green says, so the book out in February is a sequel to Soul's book, or is that a standalone? None of these are actually really standalones. They all tie in together. The Into the Dark is just the first YA novel. And no, it is not a direct sequel to Light of the Jedi, which from my understanding too, that we didn't mention earlier, is that even Cavan Scott's book is not going to be a direct sequel to this. It kind of came off like more of a, this story is ending somewhere, and then Cavan Scott's novel is going to take place with different characters doing something else, and then maybe the next novel after that comes back to these people. I think I could have got that wrong, but it sounded like during the second book, Avar Kriss is going to be doing something else in the Star Wars, in the comic line. I'm sounding like I'm confusing myself and maybe confusing you guys too. But from what I gathered from the conversation that they had was, the Avar Kriss is going to be doing something else during this time, and this book is a different thing going on. So we'll see. It's just, it's all fresh. It's all new. By the end of this year, I think we'll have a good idea on if it's going to be worth it or not. Besides all the High Republic stuff, we still have Alexander Freed's closing book for the Alphabet Squadron. We've got Timothy Zahn's new book coming out for the Thrawn Ascendancy, which I think that might be my favorite Thrawn story, is the Ascendancy. So ABC says, well, it was a nice chat. See you, gents, and have a good night. We'll keep on top of your reviews of the High Republic and see how it turns out. Here's to keeping my fingers crossed. Well, thank you. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. ABC says, I'll say good night. I have spoken. Good. Well done. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping. Quinn Green, says, sounds good. Thanks for your insight. Have a good one. Yes, you too. Guys, I am going to wrap it up now. Thank you so much for watching the stream. Had a lot of fun. Looking forward to seeing how this High Republic really turns out. Hoping, fingers crossed, because I don't want things to fail. I know some people do want things to fail. I don't want people to fail. I want everybody to have a great time reading these books. I want us to enjoy the story for what it is, not forcing things that are unnecessary in there just to do it. But it's 2021. That's, if we're going to follow the trend of 2020 and other couple of years before that, it's going to be things could get pretty weird in Star Wars. I'm kind of scared to read what Daniel Jose Older is going to do in one of these books, because what he did with Last Shot had some weird stuff in there, talking about Lando's rear end and stuff. Didn't really care for that. But yeah, here's to having a great time with the High Republic. Later tonight, maybe now, maybe an hour from now, I've got my part 1 of the Light of the Jedi chapter by chapter overview with the spoilers. And then later on this week or next week, there will be part 2 of 3. So, guys, have a good one. Happy reading. If you guys pick up the book tomorrow and you start reading it, let me know your thoughts. Come back here. Come back to the other live streams that we'll have here. We can go back to the main review and leave your thoughts. I'd really like to know. It's always fun reading your opinions.